Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is the 5 best forgotten farms part 2. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Now coming in at number 1 we have the Worn Troll dice. Now this can be located with the mobs in Ice Crown, and they are located very north of the map on their own separate island. Now these guys have a chance of dropping the Worn Troll dice by pickpocketing. This is a rogue specific farm. Usually we'll get 1 for the hour's worth of farming, and the price does vary on your realm, but I managed to take the liberty of posting some of this on right here. And the Worn Troll dice is very much worth your time in order to farm up, because at the end of the day it's a rogue specific farm, so only rogues can get a hold of it, and not many people want to invest an hour's worth in order to think. They might, a lot of people would rather just buy the toy off of the auction house and then be able to just play with their toy, or toy collection, so to speak. So this is a niche market farm, but it is a forgotten farm, so to speak, as not many people actually farm these dice anymore. Now, aside from all of that, this is a very good farm in order to do. The only restriction on this is you need a rogue. So the Worn Troll dice is a very old farm, but nonetheless, it is still a great gold farm even today, and I don't see many people talking about it as anymore. But I would like to bring this to your attention, because at the end of the day, if it's worth a lot of gold, you might as well farm it and sell it on the auction house. That means if not many people remember this farm, that means we can pull in some additional gold for this. Which leads me on to number 2. Coming in at number 2, we have the Lost Tome of the Legion. Now this one is a warlock specific farm, and this requires a warlock in order to do. All you have to do is take a circle motion, so to speak, around the Isle of Thunder. Now this can drop only off of the rares which are located on the map. Now if you actually follow the route around there and kill all the rares, it has a chance of dropping the Tome of the Lost Legion. Now this varies on gold wise quite considerably depending on your realm. So if you're on a high pop server, the majority of the time it's going to be worth just a little bit of gold, but at the end of the day, for like a 5-minute lap around an island when you're a bit bored for additional gold, this is by far a very quick method in order to try and see if you can get hold of anything with that much of RNG base, so to speak. This farm is a very old method in order to make gold, but it still sells even now, because the animation for it, when they've actually learnt the after a warlock gets hold of the effect, it looks pretty damn cool, so that's why it still sells. More of an aesthetic thing as opposed to anything else. But at the end of the day, this is still by far a very good gold farm. You just have to circle the island, which takes about 5 minutes to do, and kill any of the rares which are up at that moment in time. Once again, I will remind you, it is a warlock specific farm, so you will not drop for you if you are not a warlock. That being the case, let's get into number 3. Now for number 3 is the Big Red Ray Gun. Now this one can be located in Dustwallow Marsh, which is on the map right now. When you're actually on the island, so to speak, you have a chance of finding this rare, which is up in one of the buildings. Now, he has a chance to drop in the Big Red Ray Gun, which is a toy, so to speak, that you can sell on the auction house. Now, this one was a massive thing back a couple of years ago when it first got released, and not many people actually do farm it anymore. This one is barely forgotten now, but at the end of the day, the Big Red Ray Gun sells quite well, even now, and the rare mob that actually drops it spawns once every like 10 to 15 minutes, depending on like his respawn rate, so to speak, and you are able to just semi-AFK when you're actually doing this farm. So if you're a lazy gold maker, you could park your ult there while you're doing something else on the computer, and as soon as he spawns up, kill him, and you can have a chance of getting the big red ray gun. Now, usually this will take a little bit longer in order to get hold of this toy, but it is more or less a lazy gold farm as opposed to anything else. Now, this one is mainly forgotten as people do not really talk about this one anymore, but it is still a great gold farm nonetheless if you want to semi-AFK gold farm while you're doing something else, like watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, other than that, guys, let's move on to number 4. Now, coming in at number 4 is a farm that anyone can do as well, and that is the Guide to Extreme Angling. Now, you can get hold of this guide by going into the Dire Malt instance and seeing if you can get a hold of the book. It is a red tome which is on the floor, and it's dotted in certain specific locations within the dungeon. Now, if you actually run around there on any of your characters, so to speak, as soon as you see that tome, once you've seen it, you've basically got that extreme angling guide. This is used to gain the artifact effect of like the corrupted Ashbringer type-esque style thing for paladins, and it still sells rather well even today. This one is rarely talked about that much anymore, but it still sells nonetheless. Takes a little bit longer than usual to actually sell it as it was in Legion, but it does still sell. Now, this one is a very, very quick gold farm in order to do, and if you do not find the tome up, all you have to do is run out and reset the instance, and you have 10 lockouts before you have to wait for the hour to be up to try it again. Now, usually you can get a couple of these in the hour, and it actually does stack up quite well. So you could just do an hour's worth of farming and then leave it for the week. That's your farm for that extreme angling guide, so to speak. Now, coming in at number 5 is a very weird one, and I wanted to leave this one till last, and that is the Silken treasure chest farm. Now, this can be located in the Blasted Lands, Uldum, Silithus, the Unguro crater, Tanaris, and it is for the heavy silken chests, so to speak, and all you're doing is flying around and seeing if those chests are up. A very common add-on to actually use with this is by using Gathermate 2 and Gathermate 2 data. This once imported, the treasure chest nodes will spawn it on your map. It will make your route a hell of a lot easier, so to speak. Now, aside from that, I do combine this with the Blasted Rares farm and just do the Blasted Lands, but if you want to do the other different areas, you can usually find one is up in every zone for the heavy silken chests. So if you would like to do that farm, it is more or less a win or lose type of farm, but it is still a pretty alright farm, so to speak. It has a chance of dropping the Orb of Deception at a 0.2% drop chance, and also always gives you a blue BOE item in order to sell on the auction house, which half of the time is a high ticket transmog item and the other one is just basically trash. So it's a win or lose one. It's an RNG farm. And yeah, I like RNG farms because you never know what you're going to get. And to be honest, I do like this farm, so to speak. Aside from that, guys, that is my 5 best forgotten farms part 2. If you like this video, then tell me in the comment section down below. If I actually missed out on any farms that I may have forgotten, please post that in the comment section down below as well. And aside from that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Have an awesome day, guys, and I shall see you soon.